Hey y'all, I just want to give a walkthrough of this mixer cart we got going at Flower Mound. We've made a lot of upgrades year over year over year, and it's a pretty great system. So thought some people would be interested and just wanted to show what we've got. So we've got an Allen Heath DM0 as our mixer, and then we have a 3500 control surface. So this is actually just a surface. All of the actual processing and mixer stuff happens in there. And then to the right of that, we have our kind of monitor slash scene station. So this person's job is to change the scenes, and we've got an IP8 here. And so if you look on the computer, it's changing the scenes here. So you can go next. So this is just DLive Director, just the remote control software. And we've also got wireless workbench up. So they're also in charge of making sure we're not getting any interference, the batteries are good, all of that. So we got a score here, so they know when to change scenes. And we also got our front of house talkback mic here. So this mic can go to any of the synth monitors. It can also go to our upstairs monitors. So the directors have a speaker upstairs so that they can communicate back and forth with the person from the house. And we also have a band monitor. So instead of having, a long ranger or whatever, and the wireless never works, we actually have a speaker that's connected through the system that's pointed at the band just for talkback. So if a director or someone is at front of house, or maybe there's parents and they want to address them, these are all just talkbacks. So you can do this and talk to the, speakers, or if you wanted to talk to a synth player, these are each their monitors. So you can talk to just synth 1, just synth 2, 3, or all three at once, or any combination of the two. So that way you don't have to yell or whatever, you can just talk to them. And then let's see, right here we've got a little USB, so if we want to play music or a pre-show or whatever, we can just hook up a computer there. Down below, we've got our network switch. We've got 4 channels of Axient wireless, and then 12 channels of QLX wireless. And then at the bottom, we have the Axient battery pack charger. So we've got 16 channels of wireless that we're using. 6 are for, there's like a woodwind septet. And the rest are actually for our French horn feature. So we've got 10 French horns. And so they've all got mics, and it's a pretty cool moment. So that's what we're using the wireless for. We've got some backup supplies here in the drawer. We've got one of each type of power adapter. So power con to female Edison, true 1, etc., 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 just in case. This is where we keep all the woodwind mics from A&T. We use a lot of those. To the left of that, we've got our storage. So this is where the wireless packs live when we're in transport, and I'll show you those later. These little laptop bags are for 2 of the fins. This right here is this is our battery, so this can power the mixer for hours. It's pretty great. There's a lot of stuff in here, so it's really nice. The other thing, here's our DM0. This is the mixer. So no physical I/O. We've got a Giga Ace card. So this is going to our Rover, which has all our inputs in the pit. Nice thing about the DM0 is it has a redundant power supply. So if something happens with that, it fails over. So if we wanted, we could run the battery off of input 1, and we could run to house power on input 2, just in case one of those goes down, we would have backup. We've got our walkie-talkies for communicating during rehearsal, the different texts and all that other stuff. And then for shows, each of the synth players will have a walkie-talkie, front of house will have one, and then the marimba player closest to the Rover will have one, so that way they can all communicate and make sure everything is connecting and help troubleshoot quickly. Back up a little bit, you can see we have a lot of wireless antennas. So from left to right, this is an in-ear antenna. That's for the person who goes up top, so that this front of house person can talk to them. So if there's an issue, or it's rehearsal and you just want to communicate, they have a wireless in-ear pack that goes up top. That is one of the antennas for the microphones for the field. This paddle is for the talkback mic that goes up top. So that's why it's pointed up towards the box, because that's for the talkback. This is our Axient show link. So what this allows us to do is, if we've got a bad frequency on one of those Axient packs from Wireless Workbench, we can remotely send out a new frequency without having to come all the way up here and sync and whatever. We can just do that wirelessly. And then that last one is for the other mics on the field. If you come around here to the side, these are where our wireless mic packs live. And so for some of them, the mics fit in there, and for like the clarinet and whatnot, they're in that drawer. But this is just a really nice, clean way for the students to come and get their packs and not have to be in and out of drawers and shoving things. And then when they're done, this just rolls up and it goes into that front side. Around the back, we've got this speaker is what the microphone from upstairs can go to. If you need to, it also goes through the headphones. So obviously, for show purposes, it's going to go through the headphones so that it's not distracting. But in a rehearsal setting, it goes through the speaker, so that way if someone's not in front of the board, doesn't have the headphones on, you can still hear. This is where the speakers and the Rover connect, basically PowerCon and EtherCon for each. So we're running the Sound Tools Cat Snakes for the speaker IO. And so each of those EtherCon gives us 4 channels. So we've got 2 stacks of line arrays, subs and tops, and then 2 additional 215 speakers on the outsides. So that's our 4 channels. Coming around here to the side, we've got a power conditioner. So all of the things in the cart are actually going to this power conditioner. And then just the power conditioner is plugged into the battery. So that if this battery were ever to go down, all we would need to do was unplug one cord from the conditioner and plug it into the house power or generator or whatever. It also gives us a nice kind of master on-off switch. Above that is the IM for the upstairs person in the side. And then here is a drawer where we keep some more of the antennas in the bags. And then this is the cable that goes from the mixer to the Rover. So we'll start top to bottom. So on the top, we've got 2 ULX. So these are for the band directors during rehearsal to be able to talk to the band. So they have kind of a couple of speakers on the front sideline facing the band. And so it comes out from one of these outputs here into the speakers. So that way they can, clearly communicate. You don't have to mess with the long rangers and they can't hear and they sound bad. So that's really nice. Below that, we've got a drawer, and that has extra cables, extra microphones, kind of anything extra that the front ensemble would need. It's nicer to have this in the Rover than the mixer cart because it's closer to the performers. So if there's a bad cable in the marimba, you don't have to walk all the way around to the mixer and back. It's just kind of right there. Below that is our 4816 stage box. So this is where all the acoustic I/O happens. So this is marimbas, keyboards, allophones, surdos, timpani, all that good stuff. Plenty of inputs. And then the output of this goes to the synth cart, one of the synth carts, which has another stage box for the synth inputs, etc. Below that is this panel of all the Cat 5. So we're running Cat 5 snakes for the keyboards. So they're all color coded for each individual person. And then we've got power and EtherCon in. So nice, tidy little Rover that works out pretty well. Looking at the console, we've got 2 layers, left and right, and they're customizable by scene. So if we go to the top of the show here, you can see my left fader. These 6 are woodwind, and then these are the first 6 kind of French horns. So these are up here as we're booting up, just making sure we have signal if we need a sound check or whatever. And then the right is more the output side. So these are some groups for like the woods, metals, timpani, and then some DCAs for all the other stuff. And then this is our kind of master fader. So this is actually a DCA that has all of the speaker outputs into it. And so we can control, all the speakers individually. And then if we needed to go to the individual speakers, they're kind of all on these different layers. So what's really neat about this board is, let's go to our next scene. And you can see that this left bank changed just by changing the scene. So I've got our woodwind septet here. And then if we go to the next scene, we're adding a couple horn mics. And then the next one, the woodwinds for the most part go away, and then we have all the horns. So what's neat about this is depending on where you are in the show, these faders change. So you don't have to always be looking for things and diving and whatever. You can just put your most needed faders to grab right on the left, and then they just pop up. And then if you did want to get to, the synth faders, you can hit this mix button and it'll spill all the synths over there. Or our woodwind septet is right there, marimbas, vibes, all that. So there's several different ways to get to all of the different faders that you need. It's a really powerful board. We're really enjoying it. It just gives so much flexibility to do whatever we need and to not have to worry about, we have to unmic this so we can mic this. It's just plenty of space, and it's going really well. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know.